Today's project has to do with fixing something that I've already paid for once, and that always irritates me. The exhaust shop in Reno thought these little freaking catalytic converters are good enough for a big block motor. They're not. They're not good enough at all. You can see how much they replaced from the old system. You can see the length the catalytic converters should be. It's baffling to me because Summit Racing's warehouse is right there. And where did I get these catalytic converters from? From Summit Racing. Pretty much next day from Reno. That was nice. So I've got a pair of these MagnaFlows catalytic converters, more appropriately sized for my truck, about 16 inches in length from end to end. What I find hilarious is when I open this up, that is the exact code that my computer is throwing. Now I've gone through all the other things, damage and contamination, scan tool diagnosis, other codes. There are no other codes, it's just the 420. Bulletin for pattern failures. The simple idea is there is not enough material in those little catalytic converters to actually get enough of a change that the computer will be happy. This has way more material in it. So that's why I'm going to shift to these ones, which are the size of what I had on before. Pretty sure I had MagnaFlows on before as well. But yeah, hopefully this solves the code, because I have nothing else to do to solve that code other than just replace for a bigger catalytic converter. Funny enough, I'm not always a fan of the Sawzall. I use the heck out of it in carpentry and remodeling and construction, but I don't find them to be precise enough. But because it's under the truck, this is probably the best way to get in there. So this will be fun for me. I'm going to test my skills at precision. I guess I'm just not a Sawzall master with that. Don't know that there's any way I can show what I'm doing, so it's just cutting this thing off and welding it back on. I don't have a good enough camera to get up under there. So these MagnaFlow catalytic converters have slip over joints. Makes it pretty easy. I made a rookie mistake here. The pipe they had added on for their short ones, I should have measured what I needed for slip over for this cat, so about 1 inch inside each one of these, and then been able to wrangle it in. Instead I cut too much, so I'm going to have to cut a piece of that pipe. Now I've got 3 welds to do where I could have had just 2. So making my own life difficult by not paying attention. So learn from my mistakes. At least on the second leg, I'll keep that in mind. Alright, midpoint progress. Not the worst welds I've ever done. Not the best. This side of it, yeah, same thing. Confined quarters are difficult. Kind of working overhead almost. And that's some of the ugliest stuff I've ever done. That did not fit too well together. I think that is what was on the truck, and that's where the O2 sensor bung is. Trying to fill that space past the slip joint was a pain in the butt. There's still a hole up in here. I can feel it. Now I let it all cool down. Still got to fill that because you can't have a hole right next to your O2 sensor. I'll be right where I was before with a freaking code throwing. I don't want that. As far as I can tell up here, I can feel around. It's all pretty sealed, ugly but sealed. And that's probably good enough for me. So where I'm at now is on the second one. Ended up popping it off of that hanger and cutting the hanger back there because the bolts like stretched, worn, loose, and they tack welded the nut onto it, so I couldn't do anything with it, so it's down. And it was like I was saying with the other one, I was trying to make this a perfect fit. So now I got to figure out how to get this into there. I'm going to work with my jack a little bit. I'll get it in there, and then I'll get the hangers on, and then I'll throw my first tack welds on it. All of this work, this had better be what the issue is with that 420 code. If not, man, it definitely put me in a tight spot here for trying to get weld into here. I may end up reaching it from this side better. Or a combination of the two. It's just the tight quarters, hard to get in here. Friggin' sucks. But we'll see what I can do. The funny thing about this is when you're talking flow of at least hydraulics, I mean with water and stuff, you want the flow going that way, the slip joint comes over it so it goes into the slip joint. Here, the slip joint's going against the flow, which means it could blow past here if you have leaks at all. Well, guess what's right here again? O2 sensor. So I need to make sure I have no leaks around this O2 sensor, so then the computer understands what's going on with this system. Because that, I think, is the whole main problem, is the computer just did not like the inability of those small Flowmaster catalytic converters to change the quality of the air coming out of this engine. Exhaust, air, whatever. So yeah, this is all cooled off. I'll zap that some more, see if I can't fill that hole. That's always tedious work. I'm not showing any of this. You're seeing where I'm at and what I've done. My older brother would laugh at me and tell me it's all bird poop, but if you want to learn to weld, you're not learning it from me. I'm not the best. I do it every once in a while. Thin stuff like this always challenges me. But again, I don't want to wait forever to get this fixed. And I don't want to have another shop do it. I'm really tempted to tear the whole system out, get my own lengths of pipe and everything else, and build it the way I want it. Tempted. Don't let it do that this year. Maybe next summer, who knows? Next spring. Alright, it's all done. You can see the scars of me hammering on this thing to get that slip joint to go in. Welded everything the best I can. Not easy welding up under a truck. But yeah, I was able to get this hanger back on. And the hanger back there. I got that bolted back up with a new bolt. I did double nut on that one to keep it nice and tight. See if that hangs better. Man, this thing is now one cobbled piece of all kinds of sections of pipe and everything else, but hopefully it's sealed enough. And I'm going to go try driving this thing and see if I can clear the code and if this actually solves the problem. If not, my goodness, am I going to be just disappointed. But yeah, to me, a big block needs a bigger catalytic converter than those Flowmaster ones were. It seems to me these have like twice as much material in them. Should get more reaction. So when you want to do things yourself and you don't have the shop setup of a muffler shop, man, does it get fun. If you come this far, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.